Hey guys, this is a 98 Ranger with the 2.5 engine. Grab you a big old drain pan because we're going to change the thermostat housing and the thermostat. Obviously you'll take both your lines loose. I didn't drain the radiator. I wanted to see if I could do this job with as little work as possible. I didn't even take the radiator fan off. Bolts are a little bit tight, but I was able to do it. So the housing I'm installing is the Motorcraft factory OEM unit from Rock Auto for $46 plus shipping. For the bottom bolt, I used an extension on a deep well socket. The factory bolts, you'll use a 8mm socket or a 5/16. Mine were replaced at one time, and they are 10mm. For the upper bolt, I was able to do it with just the deep well socket by itself. The other reason I'm changing this thermostat housing is because the AutoZone thermostat quit working. It must have stuck open because the upper radiator hose was always kind of warm, never hot. It never did cycle. Well, it did when I first put it in, but I'm not sure if it was leaking or what. 45990. Let's see, Advanced Auto Parts had it in stock with antifreeze for $12.99, and the thermostat was $17.39. It's kind of weird. It's got like this different type of seal on it. Thought maybe this was a peel back, but I'm not sure. I think it just drops in place. But this is the Duralast thermostat here. There's the little bleeder, so that's got to go at 12 o'clock. See if we can figure out how to put that in. So it's like it's pretty well going to go in like that. Part's a little more expensive than the other units, but it's made in USA, so hopefully it'll hold up better than the AutoZone one did. I used a length of 20 thousandths aircraft safety wire through the thermostat, and I looped it through the housing and kind of tugged on it to its seating position. First, it was kind of hard to put the thermostat with the bleed hole at 12 o'clock, but I was able to manipulate the unit to get it to hold tight. You should get the thermostat against its seat and just wrap it around one of the temperature senders. Nice and tight. One thing you don't want to do if you use the wire is to twist it. Because if it's twisted down inside of it, it may not untwist. And if that's the case, then you'd have to take it back off. So just loop it through and roll it around one of the senders. But it makes it pretty easy to put on. And you'll see that once the housing's against the engine, you can just pull the wire out of the thermostat. I really do need to fix those sense wires. The air pack connectors broke years ago. Oh well. One thing's for sure, I'm no professional photographer here. Again, the point of this video is just to see if I could actually change the thermostat housing without pulling anything off but the 2 bolts and the hoses. And one of the things I like to do before just assuming that I got a tight system is to apply a little bit of air using the overfill port at the cap and about 5 psi of compressed air. As an alternative, you can use one of the radiator pumps that replace the cap, and you can just pump it up. Mac Tools makes a good one. I've used it. But if it's holding 5 psi of air, chances are it'll hold water pretty good. Good to go. Go ahead and fire the engine up and just leave the cap off for now. And you've probably heard that on the Rangers, this is almost a mandatory function of changing any component in the cooling system, and that is to one by one take the hoses that go up to the heater core loose and purge the air out of it carefully. Don't let the engine get too hot because you can scald your hands with this. But most of the smoke you're looking at here is the coolant hitting the exhaust manifold. The engine's at about 130 degrees right now, so the water is not too hot for my hands, but the smoke you're seeing is from the exhaust manifolds. This will be a good time to check your ratio using a coolant hydrometer. I've got about 70% of coolant mixed with distilled water that I'm applying to this system. Yep, just one by one, take the lines off of the heater control valve, and you should have water coming out. No air. If everything's right, when the valve is relaxed, all 4 lines are going to be hot. The one coming from the pump will be the hottest, and the one going back to the inlet side of the water pump will be the coldest, because it's being cooled through the heater control valve. I'm sorry, through the heater core. Once you're sure you get all the air out of the system, put your clamps back on. Look for leaks. And if everything's right, that upper radiator hose should cycle. It should cycle from hot to warm. And the other thing is your water temperature gauge should be in the normal area of operation, and you should feel nice warm air coming out of the vents. The job took me about 45 minutes to an hour, mainly because I was messing with the GoPro camera. Thanks for watching.